Good morning everybody and happy Thursday. We are here in the Christmas markets. It is very warm and cosy, not like outside Christmas markets, but we have all things Christmas today and we have an absolutely amazing Christmas workshop, our first one. But I am not alone today. We have Lisa over in the producer station. Hi Lisa, you alright?
Not so bad.
She's got a scone already. It's so cute. She's got it wrapped up as well. And over in the demonstration station today, we have the very Christmassy, glamorous Cat.
Yay!
I love your jumper.
Thank you.
You look very glamour, like just glam in general today.
Aww,
I love it.
Thank you. It only lasts in here and then it goes to pot as soon as I walk out that door.
How are you?
I'm good.
What are we doing today?
We are having just some fun with colouring. Yeah, like you said, we're doing a workshop. We're just going to colour in some stamps. We're going to show you how the difference between some products and lots of fun things you can do with lots of our colouring ranges.
Amazing. And I believe there's another game later today because we've already been told we're not allowed to cheat.
Yes.
Not that we cheat anyway. We don't cheat.
No, we're not the cheaters.
That's not the Christmas spirit. Okay, before we crack on, let's have a look at our Win It Weekly. She wasn't ready. I thought she was just going to leave me like in an awkward silence. Okay, so this is the Mega Storage Caddy. This is one of my favourite products that we do. It is absolutely amazing for storage. 3 lucky winners this week. Each one is worth $39.99. That is amazing. Okay, not only do you get the outer box, by the way, you get all the 16 storage boxes inside. But in order to win this, you need to like, share and comment. Now, I'm not going to say the cities because I'm rubbish. And let's just be thankful Natalie's not here. Which of these Christmas markets takes place underground? Is it Christmas Wonderland? Is it Christmas Town? Or is it Capital of Christmas? Like, share and comment to be in with a chance of winning one of these. Okay, I don't want to talk too much today, so we're going to go straight in to quick recap. We've been showing this all week. This is our amazing planner. And you get the to-do list. It's just amazing, isn't it? This is what you need. Everybody needs this on their desk. I know that I have multiple notebooks, but this would be ideal because I can just put my notes in for each day. I can put my crafty notes down here. Maybe it's your card planner, especially running up to Christmas, and we all have Christmas orders for our cards and makes. This would be ideal. You can put maybe your orders that you get in each day, and then obviously you have your crafty to-do list. $6.99, you get both these together, and $6.29 if you are in the Diamond Club. Now I'm going to try and stick to the plan because I've just got products everywhere. Brush markers, let's go in with this one. Now I looked at this and I saw it saves 55%. This is amazing, amazing price. So this is the complete collection. Oh, she's fiddling. She's fiddling with the camera. No pressure. No pressure, Lisa. Okay, this is our brush marker complete collection. So Kat, are you going to show us any of these, or is it the alcohol markers that you're
I'm going to mainly be using the alcohol markers. I am later on when we get to the technique bits going to do a fun thing with the fine liner end because I don't think we tend to forget about that.
We do.
And it's such a great tool to have in so many different colourways.
So these pens are like water based, aren't they? So they have a brush end and then they have the fine liner end. So you can use either. This is great for your brush lettering, but it's also great if you add colour down onto your watercolour cardstock and then you can use a water brush to blend it out and you get like a watercolour effect. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs. Each one has, it should say on it, shouldn't it? 12 markers. That is a lot of markers. So you have lots of different colours. You have your blues, you have your sort of yellowy and orangey tones, you have your pinks, You have your earthy tones. Look at this one. This is great for you, like Christmas trees. I think this one is our pastel, rainbow pastels, yeah. So you've got lots of different colours in this one. And then you have your very like deep earthy colours, again, like Antique Dreams. So you get all of them. And you get the handbook? Yes, you do. You get the handbook. So if you're not sure what to do with this, this is ideal. So this, you've seen our handbooks before, but if you haven't, this is an essential educational tool to have just on your like craft shelf. Reach up for it when you want, but it's going to explain all about the craft markers. It is going to then go through techniques, what you can use with them, all the products that are great with them. Just lots and lots of information and lots of like step-by-steps as well. Like you've got your brush lettering in there, and then a bit later on we've got the cards and the step-by-step instructions, full page cards as well, so you can actually see what you are trying to achieve with this. But look, you can do your doodling. Amazing. So you get all of that, 55% off today. That is $44.99. It should be $99.93. That's an amazing price.
It's an amazing value, and you think the value of your book is $9.99 on its own. So if you take that out of the price as well, it's incredible.
I know, it's amazing. So stock up today because that is an amazing deal. But if you want something a little bit different, we've got our craft markers. Now these, our alcohol-based markers. So these are slightly different. They're like a permanent ink. These come in like little packs like this, with the colours in the top. So they've all got different numbers on. Each one has its own like colourways, but they all work together wonderfully. There are so many packs. I could go through all of these and it'd take me ages. But they're just a selection of colours. These are all the packs. Look how many we've got. Look how many. It's like a whole library of colour. That way.
Do you know, I'm just thinking what I should have done.
Go on.
I'm sorry, it's just, sorry to butt in, but I took all my pens and my pencils down to Hobby Maker on Sunday because we have the stamping essentials on there. And I don't usually do that. I just usually pick out what I need and take it. But because I was doing like a workshop kind of thing again, I thought I'd take everything. So I had them all in my boxes in the back of my car. I should have taken you a picture of what my car boot looks like this morning after I had to slam on when a cat came across the road.
Oh no.
It is literally just to see everything. Prism, alcohol and brush markers just covering the whole of my boot. Yeah, and it'll probably be like that till January, till I get the to muster it up again.
Okay, so head to the website so you can see all the different colourways on our website. But these are now buy one get one free for each pack. They are amazing. They're $9.99 each. So you're getting how many pens in a pack? 6. So you're getting 12 pens for $9.99. You're getting 2 of these. So you can choose whichever 2. Maybe you need to top up on some colours. Maybe you really like some of the colours, and you know, like your greens you're going to use more at this time of the year, so you can top up on them. Obviously, if you get 2 packs, right, and then you get another 2 free, you're getting all them. So you can top up as much as you want. Buy one get one free. Don't miss out on that offer as well. And Kat's going to show us how to use them in a bit.
And I think that's one of the best offers we bring you on these, because it works across a range. Whether you're treating yourself to the whole set for the first time, then you're essentially getting it for half price because it's buy one get free. Or if you're a lover of your Prism markers and you just need to stock up, buy one get one free is just such a great way of being able to do it.
I think it's a great deal as well if you want to just trial them.
Yeah.
If it's something that you have been interested in, but you're not maybe you're not confident, maybe you just want to try them out, you could just get 2 packs, try them out. Maybe it's your colour, like your colour tones, you know, like your skin tones, maybe it's your browns and earthy colours. Just have a play with them, and honestly they're not as scary as people think they are. I think they can be quite daunting sometimes, but please don't be afraid of them. Just have a play. And obviously Kat's here to show us all the ins and outs of them. And then finally, before I start waffling on, we've got our watercolour pencils and the handbook. So I'll quickly show you the handbook first. So similar to the Prism brush marker one, this one is great. This one explains all about your Prism pencils. These are watercolour pencils, so you're going to be able to do lots of techniques like the shaving and then adding water to it. You can apply your colour without using water at all. You can just use them as pencils. They are great because they're such a high colour, aren't they? Like high pigment.
Yeah, they're really high pigmented. Because they originally were designed for watercolour pencils, you've got to make sure that you've got that colour payoff there in there for when you let it down with the water. But as you know, I'm an absolute lover of them, just using them dry.
But oh.
Wow, there's a ghostie in here. Do you know what it was? It was the metal plate from the Gemini machines just decided to like pop into shape for some reason. Wow.
Keep us on our toes today. Got Hunkydory ghost now. Yes, so these, I've had watercolour pencils before in the past and the colour has been really quite pastel and like muted, whereas these are fantastic, especially to use on craft and on your black cardstock. There's an example on that craft, which is just beautiful. Let's show you the pencils. So they come in this really nice, like a little bit of a carrier fabric case, and all you do is pull this out. This comes out. You roll it out and look at this. Let me just turn it around so I can show you. Look at this. Look at the colours. You get a whole spectrum of colours, all in that beautiful case, all stored perfectly. And you have a little zip at up here, so you can put your water brushes in there or your pencil sharpeners, things like that. And then when you're finished, you just roll it back up. So it's great if you are crafting on the go, crafting on holiday, maybe you're going away for Christmas. It's also just a great Christmas present. All these things are great Christmas presents.
Yeah.
I'm not hinting at anyone right now. Okay, I'm stop waffling and over to Kat. What are we doing first?
Okie dokie. So we are going to have a play around, and for once, we're going to do a stamp and we're going to colour it in start to finish for you, which we don't always get the opportunity to do. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's not the biggest stamp in the world, but I think it's one that you're going to really love. Bear in mind, there's less than 10 of these left in stock, so if you do want it, go and get it. But it's just going to be able to show you a range of techniques like colouring skin tone, colouring, shading on colours, doing some hair detail in there as well. So I should show it you, shouldn't I? It's our Golden Oldies Christmas. So it's this one here, and we're going to be doing our lovely lady here. So because I'm using alcohol markers, we are going to use our Memento ink. This means that stamp's going to stay nice and crisp. Your VersaFine, because it's water-based, would it bleed into your inks when you start putting them on.
And what cardstock are you using, Kat?
This is just regular. It's from our pad. I think it's like the white ink me. Yeah. I've already managed to muck it up.
It's one of them inky, messy days though. So.
It is. It's going to be one of those. So we're going to stamp this up here. Like I said, we're just doing techniquey things today. We're not doing finished card samples, but I know how much you guys love just watching colouring in. So you can see how beautifully clean and crisp that has stamped there. So we're going to bring in my box of alcohol markers and let's start with our skin tones. So I am just going to start with our 537, and anywhere that I can see skin on this one, I'm just going to go over and lightly go in with the shade. Now, because this is quite a small stamp, you don't have to worry about too much how you lay in that ink down, and where you have got those fine details, you just want to be touching the nib just very gently to the areas around where you want it to colour. You don't need to go in and scribble at all, because it just kind of bleed sounds like a bad word, but that's not. It's not in this case. It's just like fill in the space. It's if it kind of knows where the ink is.
You can just sort of like kiss
the
cardstock sometimes, and it just gives you the right amount of colour.
Yeah, that's exactly. She's just said it so much more eloquently than I have. that, like, if you just kiss the paper, the paper kind of sucks the colour into it and fills the space. So if we go around with this, with our first layer. Now you can just leave it like this because it is a small stamp. You don't need to worry about that shading as much, but me being me, I like to do it. So there's two ways you can do this. You can either let it dry down just a minute, keep the same pen, and then you can go in and just darken up certain areas, or you can take a slightly darker shade and throw it on the desk. That one's actually a little bit lighter. It's not going to be in here, is it?
What colour do you need? Because
let me see. Let's try 525. Yeah, we're going to go for the 515. And then you can just go where those natural shadows would fall.
You might have to keep leaning back because you're
going in the way.
Going
thingy. Right.
There you go. Perfect.
So we are going to just go round the edges, tip of the ears, round the mouth. Oh, it's the mouth, the teeth and the tongues. I was trying to figure that out then. And just add in a little bit of depth around those areas. So I'm just going to do like a little highlight on the nose. And then what I can also do is if we take like a really soft kind of pinky colour. This isn't the softest, but I know I can blend it out a little bit. Taking 557, and I'm just going to add a little bit of rosiness to the cheeks. Now, this looks quite harsh and quite thingy, but I know I can go back in with that lighter colour.
The lighter skin colour?
The lighter skin colour. And just blend it out. And it's just going to give me that kind of rosy glow over the cheek area there.
Before you do any more, do you think you could lift it up and we can have a close-up?
Look.
Yeah.
So you can see how there's all that definition and that shading in the face now as well. It is hard to tell when we're so low down, isn't it?
No, that's
there we go. So we'll keep reminding me to do that. Now with the, let's do the hat. Let's go in with some different tones, something really deep, and we'll go with our reds. The other thing, as you've seen me doing, before I commit to putting anything on the face, I always test it off on the side first, just to make sure it's where I want it to go. So I'm going with my hat. Now we've got a few shades of reds here. The ones that I tend to work with are 520, 514 and 513. And then if we want anything really dark, I think it's not going to be here again. Maybe it's 547. Is that the one? No, that's the actual brown. It's one that's very similar. I think it might be 537. It's like a cherry kind of colour. But it's not going to be here, is it? Of course, we're all today.
Do you know what number?
I think it's 537. It looks like it's round. Yeah.
And then you can just steal from there.
538. I can see it straight away. It's like a raspberry. So I am going to go with my 520 first. And again, we're just going to start with that lightest colour around the hat here.
I'm just going to go grab my pens, Lisa, from my desk. Is that all right?
Stacey, while you're out there, can you do me a favour? Will you be able to grab a pack of watercolour pencils off my desk as well? I've just remembered I've not brought mine in.
Do you want to use them?
No, because that's a new one.
Are they just on your desk?
Yeah. Okay. She spotted it. I can't see it. Thank you, Lisa. So I'm going over with the 513. And we're just building these again. Just going, like I said, if there's any natural creases that you can see in the stamp, then that's always a good indicator of where shadow would be as well. And then the one that's going to make all the difference is this 538. And again, I'm going to use it very, very sparingly, but this is just going to add so much depth to it. So we're just going to go in this bottom corner here, do a little bit around the top. We're going to go where that crease is there and just at the end of the bauble, and just blend that back in with the lightest tone. again, you can just see how that's built up that depth.
It looks so good, Kat.
On that hat there. Now, another thing you can do, I'm just going to show you on top here. When you're going through your selection and you're wanting to do a depth of colour, but there isn't necessarily the right dark shade within there for you, you can go in with one of your like cool greys or your neutral,
yeah,
to add that kind of highlight as well, and it won't deposit a load of like grey colour on there.
Yeah.
It just helps darken up what's already there. So you could just go in with that as well, if that's what you needed to do, if you're not finding the right tone. Like I said, if you've not purchased them all,
yeah,
I would definitely recommend getting at least one of the packs of your grey tones in there, because you will find it so useful for doing stuff like that. So while we're on the greys, let's get this out and we're going to go on to the hair. And what I like to do again when I'm doing like curly hair textures and stuff is do it in a curly motion. And I think it really helps give that kind of illusion to what we've got there. And again, because we're doing grey, we don't have to worry about hitting every single little spot, because there will be lighter and darker bits in, and we will go in again and add more colour over the top to bring this to life. So next I'll go with my Cool Grey 3, and again we're just going to go really randomly with this.
Yeah,
And it looks a bit mad, but when we go and blend it in, it'll just pick up that texture of that curly hair. Yes.
I need to lean back a bit.
Are we doing reindeers again?
We just had a zoomed, really perfect image of a reindeer then.
I can take them off. So when we go
It's
back
all right,
in with
it's
these,
just every now and again they creep in. They're like little naughty reindeers. So the reason why I wanted to go and get my Prism markers is those are obviously stored like that at the moment.
Yeah.
But I would actually recommend storing them flat.
yes,
So I use one of the, I think these boxes actually include the, what are they called? The little storage boxes. I think they actually include them. So I've taken them out. So then I can put them in one of these storage boxes, which is great because you can actually see all the colours here. They will fit in because it's got a little bit of height in the lid, but also this is what I have in my box always. It's a scrap piece of card and it's got all the colours on it and all the numbers. So instead of putting it down all the time onto your cardstock,
yeah,
I can literally just have this out on my desk and be like, okay, well, I want this colour and these two colours work really well. So another top tip.
definitely.
We do put the caddy on its side on the shelf.
I will let you off, Lisa. This is why.
I don't want to ruin your explanation.
No, because at home I do actually have the caddy and I used to store them like that. But the other thing, if you do want to use that, you can just turn them over when you use them.
Yeah.
So that as long as you keep rotating them, the ink will be fine.
So with the tongue detail there, I have gone in with the 557 for the back of the throat and the tongue, but we haven't got like a deeper shade of that 557. So this is where I've gone with the grey, the Cool Grey 3, just to add a little bit more definition to that tongue. Right.
Chloe, sorry Kat. Chloe, these are alcohol markers that are being used at the moment.
So I'm going to go with our 402, which is a very, very light kind of cream colour, just for the teeth. We'll not make them too yellow. We won't say she's been a coffee drinker. And then we're going to go with our, I'm going to check out my pinks for the lips. So we'll go quite vibrant. She likes a strong shade of lipstick, this lady here. But if you do find that it's too vibrant, what you can then do, you also get in this selection a colourless blender that is in your pastels selection. And this is great. What it literally does is take the colour out.
Yeah.
All your alcohol markers, if you put in light over dark, what it's essentially doing is bleaching the colour back out of it again. That's how it does its blending. So, but this one is a dedicated tool for it. So if you go in with something and you think it is just a little bit too harsh, you like the tone of it, but you just want to bring it down a bit, you can go in with your colourless blender and it will just soften that up for you. Just tone it down a little bit. I'm just trying to go through as many different techniques in this one, image as thingy. So we're going to go on to the glasses. Now, I'm going to fall into the trap. Realistically, if you think about glasses, when we look at Stacey now, if you look through her glasses, her glasses are clear, right? And you do see all the normal colours that you do. But when we tend to colour glasses in, we do them blue for some reason.
Yeah, we do.
We do the reflect of the glass. And it works. I don't know why, because it's not what we naturally see. But we are going to fall into that trap, and that's what we're going to do today. So
with colouring, there's no right or wrong either.
There's not, definitely.
Also, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just coloured them in, they'd look a bit odd, wouldn't they? Like, they just look like
circles on the
your
face,
like somebody's drawn on you. The colours blender I also use if I've coloured outside the lines.
Yes, it's great.
Almost like push it back in.
Yeah.
So that's another top tip.
So I'm using this beautiful 461 that is one of my absolute go-tos. And again, I'm just going to let that dry down, and then I'm just going to go over it on itself, just round one side, just to add a little bit of definition. And then we need a colour for our glasses. Should we stick to our reds while we've already got them out? She seems like she'd be the kind of lady that'd match her hat to her glasses. And again, just popping them in there. And again, just go in with a slightly dark tone just on like the bridge and the top of them to add some shading. I feel like I'm doing reindeers on top again. Let me just move back.
Yeah, you did, but I didn't want to say anything.
I got a sense of it.
I was hoping Lisa was going to say something, and then she didn't. I feel like I'm an annoying elf today.
We also have this fabulous neutral one kind of shade, which again is great for adding shading and stuff. So I'm just going to add this to like the whites of the hat just to give like a shadow. Don't need to colour the whole thing in. We want to keep a little bit of that white detail in there, but I think again it just makes it look a little bit more realistic if you add that detail around the top. And we're just going to finish with a little bit of yellowy gold in the earrings. So I think if I take this is quite a mustardy kind of yellow, your 406. They're probably meant to be pies or something, I think, looking at them, but we'll just pretend it's gold detail. I think they're meant to be like little Christmas puddings. I'm just going to go in with that.
I wondered what you meant by pies.
Puddings, I meant. I'm a girl from Wigan, we turn everything into pies. And then just a little bit darker on the top there, again, to add that highlight in. And I think we're done. So we've done a nice coloured image for you from start to finish. And again, you can see how quick we did it realistically as well, but you've got all that shading in there. And it's not hard to do.
No. And
I think a stamp like this, I know we're very, very limited, but I'm sure we've got others on the website. These are absolutely perfect for trialling out your colouring techniques and getting used to them. They're not too overwhelming. You've not got to worry about filling in a whole like A6 kind of stamp. They're a great place to start.
Oh, thank you very much, Kat.
You're welcome. I've got to figure out where these pens go now.
Well, we've also got guess the word game next.
Oh, right, okay.
So, do you want a minute? Do you want me to do... Should we do products first? Yeah? I wasn't ready, so I've not got anything out. I was just too busy looking at cat colouring. Okay, so the Magic of Colour handbook. Now, this is amazing. I'm pretty sure this sold out when we first launched it, and we had to reprint it. Now, if you're not sure about colour, how they go together, maybe you've put some colour down and you're not sure, you're like, oh, something just not quite right. You need this in your life. Everybody needs this. Even we need this in our life. We do this every day. Even as designers or card makers, this is an essential tool. Now, what this does is it comes with your free colour wheel. So this is your colour wheel, and it spins around and it tells you all the different types of like colour combinations. So you have, I'll try and say it, complementary, triadic, split complementary, oh, they're just the same. Basically, you spin it around and you choose which colour type that you want. Now, if you're not sure where to start, then this is the book that you need, because this, if I do this, it shows you exactly how to use your colour wheel for your primary colours. It shows you how to use it for, and obviously you've got the cards as well, so it shows you how to be using those primary colours. But then it shows you the secondary colours and cards, how to do them. Then we go on to the monochromes, so it is really, really useful if you are not sure what to do with your colour. Maybe you just need a bit of a refresh as well with your colour. Maybe you want to try some new colourways out. Maybe you're stuck using the same ones over and over again. So this is amazing. It tells you all the different ways of doing it. It's step by steps as well. You've got the colour palettes at the bottom as well. It is amazing. I love this handbook so much. Look at all of, it's just, when you're a bit stuck, this is the handbook that I always reach for. So you get both of them. So you get the handbook and you get the colour wheel for $5.99. They should be $9.99. But it's just an educational tool that you have to have. That's all I can say about it. Just amazing. Okay, Glimmer mists. No, they're not Glimmer mists. Oh no. I know why she's laughing now. Right. I don't know why you do this to me.
Smart person would have moved everything else out of the way and slid it across the table.
No, well, I'm not smart today. I'm a Christmas elf. Oh, see,
I think Christmas elves are some of the smartest people, to be fair.
No, I'm
Do you
just
think about
full
what
of
they managed to
Christmas
get
joy.
done?
I don't need to think about being
Right,
smart.
Okay.
Okay, and I've put it on top of my cue card, so we'll just read from the screen. These are your Glimmer mists. Are we going to show people how to use Glimmer mists today, or
A little bit.
a little
yeah,
bit? Ooh,
yeah.
I love these. So these are 2 for £5, which is absolutely amazing price. What should they be normally?
$4.99 each.
£4.99 each, and it's 2 for £5. So you're just paying a penny more for 2.
Yep.
That's amazing. Okay, so these, you can choose whatever colours you want, but I know that you definitely need the silvers, the whites, the golds. If that's all you go for, then that's just an amazing deal in itself. But you have all the different colours as well that you can choose from. So have a look on our website. There's Christmassy colours in there, there's everyday colours in there, there's all sorts. These are amazing. If you just want, you know, like that splattery effect that people use on cards, and you think, how have they done that? This is the perfect way of doing it, because you don't get it all over your fingers. You can just spray it and spritz it whichever way you want to use it. You can spritz it down and then use it and paint with it. You can do all sorts. Amazing. It's got the mica in it as well, so it has got that beautiful shimmer that you definitely need to have. And then finally, the pearlescent powders. Now, you saw me use this in the Technique, some of the Technique one that I did. I can't remember which one. But they are amazing. Again, even if you only use the silver colour, which is in this one, set 1, it's got your shimmering silver, burnished bronze and glistening gold. If you only get that one and then get another one free, that's all you do today, then you're winning. Okay, so it's buy one get one free. They are $9.99 each, but that means that you can get all of them basically near enough half price, can't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Definitely.
Look at all the different colours, and these are great. You might think, well, what can I do with this? Go back and have a look at some of our Technique Tuesdays. You can do all sorts of this. You can use it with your embossing folders to bring out some of the detail in that. You can use it with stamps. You can use it with waters. You can spritz with it. All sorts. Absolutely all sorts. And a little goes a long way. So it's going to last you so long. Okay. Are we doing the Christmas word game?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
Go on then. What am I doing?
Right.
Oh, that face.
I know.
Oh, wait, wait, wait. I need to move this so you can't see the camera. 1 minute.
Okay, she's doing something. Okay. So,
You
I
have no
can't-
camera in front of you.
I can't look at the camera.
You have to guess what's on your head. You have to ask cat questions.
I'm going to hold it on because...
How long is this show going to be, Lisa?
Well,
Is it Christmas themed?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Am I round?
Can be. More.
Am I edible?
Yes.
Am I sweet?
No.
Do I have it on a Christmas dinner?
Yes.
Is it carbs?
Yes.
Is it a roast potato?
It is. Oh my word, you're so good.
Yes! I'm so proud of myself.
You need
Do
to
you
put
want-
this one on cat's head.
Okay. You might have to just like hold it on.
Yeah, 'cause it'll stick to my fridge.
Show everyone else
Show
as
the
well.
camera.
Oh,
Yeah?
can we say I'm not looking?
Yeah, that's fine. Right, go.
Go.
Am I an animal?
Not really, no.
Not really.
Well, you're not. No.
Am I a person?
Not really.
Am I edible?
No.
Do you find me inside?
No.
So I'm something that outside that's not an animal or a person. Am I a decoration?
Wouldn't. No.
Would you put a decoration on me?
Yeah.
Am I a tree?
No.
Ah!
It's all right. Don't,
We
just
know
don't
what
look
it
at
is.
the floor.
Oh, wow. Did lots of people have this?
No.
Right. So,
It's
I'm
really
a-
hard.
I'm not really an animal, I'm not really a person.
No.
I'm outside.
Yeah.
You can't eat me.
No.
I'm a decoration.
Yeah. Kind of.
Do I involve snow?
Yeah.
Am I a snowman?
Kind of.
We need more specific.
Am I Frosty the Snowman?
Now that would be too easy.
Close.
Um,
Am I made of snow?
Yeah. Is he made of snow?
I don't know.
Is he made
You
of
did
snow?
it.
Jess fixed this one.
Hank, what? I
I fixed the potato.
I need a clue. This is mad.
You were like near enough there.
Snowman. Snow dog.
Keep going.
Snow cow.
Snow cow. No.
So I'm made of snow. Snowball. No, you made it sound like I'm not a person or an animal. I don't know. Oh, this is not
I'll give you a
funny.
clue. It's a character.
From like a film or something.
Chloe says Frosty Snowman was a good guess.
The snowman from the snowman. I don't know. I don't. I need another clue. So, like from a film, made of snow. Olaf!
Take Frosty the Snowman, jiggle it about a little bit to make a different character name.
Yeah.
Snowman the Frosty?
No. Well, we're getting there.
Has it got Frosty in it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Jack Frost?
Yeah! Kat, you did it!
Wow!
That was a hard one. Did Jess pick that?
We're going to have to cut down on a
she
demo
did.
now.
Oh no! Was it? It might have been Rebecca that picked that one.
Right, whoever picked it, they're not allowed to pick again, ever. You can come again, though, with your roast potatoes.
That was fun.
Kind of.
No, it doesn't feel very fun from over here.
Okay, we're actually back over to you, Kat, with the demo.
Okay.
Are you all right, Jess?
Yeah.
We've broken Kat.
So I have gone to our Say It With Style pocket pads, and what I've done is I've picked out one of the designs. You're going to get a sneak peek here. And what I've done is I've coloured it in using 3 different materials that we've got on the show today, just to show you the different effects that you can get. Obviously, when we hold them up to the camera, you'll be able to tell the difference more. So the ones that we're going to use, we're going to finish off with this main Christmas tree on all of them. We're going to use our watercolour pencils dry, our alcohol markers and our Prism Glimmer mists to paint this one in as well. So let's do our pencils first.
Did you have pencils?
Yeah, Lisa managed to find me some.
While you are colouring that,
Yes.
do you think you could explain, you don't have to show it necessarily, but how do you use the pencils wet?
Well, there's a few different ways. So you can either lay your colour down flat like I'm doing now, and then just go in with a little bit of water, just to soften them up. You could scribble them on to, make sure if you are using them wet that you're using the premium watercolour cardstock. That's how you're going to get all your best results. You could colour them down quite firmly onto your cardstock and make yourself like a little palette, and then add water to it and pick it up.
Yeah.
You can spritz your paper beforehand.
Okay.
Wet your paper, then go in and softly colour in either a stamp, or you can just do it freehand, and then add more water with your water brush to loosen it up. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. If you get the handbook, it's going to explain it to you perfectly.
Thank you, Kat.
Not a worry. So let's go with my first green, and again, like the others, I'm starting with the other colouring that we did before. We're starting with a lighter shade. Now, because I've got 3 of these to do, I'm not going to do my most perfect colouring ever, but we will give you a good idea.
I already know that it'll still be perfect though, so I know what you're like.
I just love colouring with our pencils. I think the way you can build them up and get the shading is so beautiful. And to be fair, I do forget that the watercolour pencils sometimes, they're just my absolute go-to.
They are just really nice as pencils.
They are, yeah. They're also great. I use them a lot as a finishing touch if I've been in with my alcohol markers, but I just need something else, a little bit of shading, a little bit more depth and detail. You can really go over the top of your alcohol colouring with it, and it just gives it almost like a paint-like quality.
It's also so nice because it adds a little bit of like texture with that pencil effect. But you've obviously also got that deep colour underneath from your alcohol markers. So
yeah, it's great.
It is really
so
nice. Make
sure I've got a really solid base of that one all the way down. Then I'm going to go in with a slightly dark shade. And I've kind of changed this up on every tree. I'm going to start around the edges. Coming out a little bit further each time. And you'll see, you'll just get a feel for it when you start to do it, where you want to add that colour. So if you start around your edges, your base layers and darken them up, remembering that we are going to bring more tones in here. And then we're going to go over all the lighter areas, but we're really going to lighten up how firm we're pressing this pencil down. So especially this is great for like when you're doing trees and stuff, because it gives those kind of like needle kind of effects. So I'm not solid colouring, I'm only just hitting certain parts. So when I go to the edges, I'm going again, I'm using a bit more pressure, a bit denser down there, but in the middle a light touch, and you can even just kind of like sketch lines in as well. So then we're going to go for our darkest green that we've got here, and again this time just going to do exactly the same thing, but we're not going to go as far in each time, and we're just gonna, it's not scribbling, but it's just adding that kind of,
I know what you mean, because sometimes you do need that texture though.
yeah, definitely. And then you can go in like on some of the lines that are, these are obviously on the baubles here, but if you do kind of like scribble, don't press too hard, it just gives you those kind of like finishing bits there. And again, I'm going to go over these bits. And then if you want to smooth it out, you can go back in with your lighter shade, and it does kind of, it's not the same kind of blend that you get with your markers, but it does help bring it together. And then another thing I absolutely love to do, I showed you this with the other one, I always like to go in with a bit of black. Again, especially if you've got shadows, a light touch, but just in the right places, just picking out those little points or little shadows where your lights are. You can really see it where it picks up on the other trees here. It really, really helps, like I said, and it doesn't go down like a strong black, it's just building up those shadows and those layers of colour. So we're just going to go with our baubles. All our baubles are going to be blue on the trees, so again I'm just going in with a light blue, popping that through there. Then I'm going to take quite a dark blue, and we're just going to come round like almost like little crescent shapes and just add that depth in there, and you're creating a highlight where that lighter colour was.
For sharpening, is it just a standard pencil sharpener?
It can be, absolutely. Yeah. Or you can use a blade if you want to, especially like if you're doing your shavings. I do have like a mechanical one that I love to use it with it. It does get them really sharp, and you will get that little bit of breakage when you first put it down, but it will keep it sharp for a long time after that. But you can just use a regular sharpener with them, no problem at all. And then we've just got to finish off the base. So I'm just going to go with a light brown there. It's almost the gingerbready colour. And again, just finish it off with that dark shade under the tree, and then just lightening it up just to get that definition. And if I bring that up to you now, hopefully you can just see the texture we've been able to get in there using our pencils.
That's amazing.
Okay, so let me tidy it up. Oh, you're not done with me yet. I've still got two more to do.
I'm just saying thanks, because that was just amazing in itself.
We can always cut down to 2 demos if we're running too long, Lisa. The other one's just showing fun bits.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Lisa's in, not Jess. And it's not me.
Jess tomorrow, Jess is telling me.
Oh, Jess is not allowed then. We're going to put Jess in the corner and silence her.
So next up, let's go back to the alcohol markers. So hopefully we'll be able to do this one quite quick. So I have picked out some shades here. Again, we're going to use exactly the same as we did with the stamping here. We're just going to go in. This is 431. And I'm doing on my trees. This is just the same blend that I've used for the other trees that are already down. And they do even themselves out. Your big difference you will notice with your alcohol markers, once you get used to using them and layering the colour down from normal felt tip pens, is how kind of flat you can get the colour if you want it to, without leaving all those kind of marks and stuff in there. It might look a little bit marky to start off, but if you just give it a few seconds to dry down, again, if you start adding colour to it once it's dry, then it's going to do that. But to start off with, this is where we go. So again, just going to go around the edges of this one. Tiny little bit down that edge there, across the bottom. Like I said, and you don't even have to be too precise. I'm going to again add a little bit of shadow where these trees lights are coming across. Blend that back in with the light shade. Just bring that out. It's almost like you're dragging it out into that other colour. What you're doing here. This is, I have gone a little bit over the edge there, so I will show you what Stacey was on about before with your colourless blender, that you can then take that and it will, if you just hold it on, leave it a second, it will kind of push that colour back and blend it down and bleach it out for you. And then I'm just going to go in the top with my 421, just pick out some tiny little bits. Blend that down again with my lightest colour. Like I said, you can spend much more time with this at home, but I just like the way you can see even from there where it's going on this one. And let's go in with our blue baubles. I've got my 436 for my light shade. And then we're just going to add a little bit of the dark blue around the bases here.
Just thought of a name for Jess. We could
Ooh.
call her the Grinch on Technique Thursdays.
And then with the base, I've got my 539, and again, we're just gonna do a little shadow under the base of the tree there, bring it down around that swirl. And there we have our alcohol marker one. So if we compare them two, from the first glance they are quite similar, but you can see how there's a little bit more texture to this one, and this one's a little bit flatter, a little bit more cartoony looking. That's the difference with that one there. Last but not least, this is where we're going to have some messy crafting fun. This one, I'm going to use my Glimmer mist as a paint to colour in.
I love this technique.
Can I give you these pens back?
Of course.
They're just a little bit in my thingy now. So I'm going to bring in our messy mat. And we are going to start with our forest green. Now, if you've got a selection of these colours, you can mix and match. You can make up your own colours by blending these together. I'm keeping this quite simple today. Always make sure that you give it a good shake so you can hear that little metal ball rattling. And then carefully, because you only need a little bit for each of these, we're just going to spray it a little bit onto our mat like that. Now, when I'm colouring on a small area like this, because this is a purpose watercolour card, you can still colour onto here. You just need to limit how much water that you're adding. So I like to go in with a dry brush because there's already liquid in here, so we don't need to keep making it too wet. So I'm going to get my fine water brush. And then you can even, if you think it's too dark to start off with, because you can always add, it's harder to take away. You can do that a little bit if you're on proper watercolour card, but on these, not so much when we're working in a small area. So always have like a little bit of tissue with you. And again, it's going to be another one where it's going to be really hard to show you the payoff that you get with this, with the actual glimmer effect in there, but you are going to get a lovely, shiny finish to this. So we can come over around. And like I said, if you are wanting to blend it out, you can then, if you have a little bit of water at the side, or you can lighten it down as you want to, but you can see how it's naturally, as we're pulling that colour out, lightening up as we've come down. I've gone over my bauble for absolutely no reason there. But you can see how much of a long way these inks are gonna take you. So we can go back in with the darks. That back up, but again, I do like kind of the natural kind of unevenness with this one, because we are going for a different effect. So I'm just going to play around.
I'm thinking about the glimmer mists that are in our craft room.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever replaced them.
I know, but these are where I've got these from.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Since
Yeah.
we launched them, I don't think we've ever replaced them.
No.
So that's how long they're going to last. And there's probably still loads in there, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Probably still seem like full bottles.
Definitely, yeah. And like I said, you can just cover it to start off with, and then once it's dried down, the beauty of this is, because of the nature of the product, if it's not as perfect as you want, or you want to go back and make bits darker, you can re-wet it and remove it about a little bit. So I'm just going to add some darkness over to this side here.
Carol Rooney's got a top tip.
Yeah.
She takes the lid off the spray paints, use the straw that's attached to the actual spray, and then you can just drop a few drops rather than spraying.
That
you know, because you only need a few.
Wow, that is revolutionised my life, because I'm always terrified of spraying them. I'm going to do that for the next colour that I use. So you can see there how we've just been able to create that natural shadow down one side of the tree just by going in and darkening it up. Right, so we're going to move on to our blue, and this is exactly what I'm going to do.
It is like one of the best things. I just have never thought about it. Because that's all, you only need a little bit.
You do only need a little bit. Carol, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This is why I love the crafting community.
Yeah, definitely.
If you've got any more top tips, please just share them, because our lives need to change with these tips.
They do. So then we can just go in, do our bubbles with this lovely shiny blue. Like I said, and this one is a bit more dense than the others, but the payoff is that once it all dries down, you're going to have that beautiful glitter effect as well at the same time. And then we even have tones in there like our bronze that are perfect for doing our little base with. And then you can either
these are on buy one get one free.
I know, they are
amazing.
Buy one get one for a bit.
What? Buy one get one for a penny. That sounds even better, to be honest. I'd love to buy anything for a penny.
And there we go. Here we have our 3 different. So I'll just show you this one up close. Hopefully you can get a little bit of shimmer in there.
It does look really good in that.
But just using 3 of our different mediums. I've not done the brush markers in this one because essentially on here you'd get a very similar effect to your alcohol markers. But I just hope it's a fun way to show you how you can use 3 of our products and get 3 completely different effects.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There's so many really nice comments as well. I think everybody is just almost in silence just watching because it is such a good show. Okay. Almost like we've got it planned. We've got some perfect products that will go almost with anything that we've had on the show today. You've already seen Kat use it. We've got our mixed media mat. Now, you know that I love this as well. This is one of my favourites. It's so big that I'm going to have to stand back. Look. It is amazing. So you get, it's almost like a silicone base, and then you get the little pots here that you can be spraying your Glimmer mist into or putting your inks into, and it keeps it all secure so you can have multiple colours without them like bleeding into each other. And it rolls up for storage. That is, it should be $17.99. It's now $12.99. Now if you've not got one, honestly, it is one of the best things for messy crafting. I use it all the time. I've got one at my desk, I've got one at home. I just grab it whenever I'm doing something, even if it's doing like not messy crafting, because the silicone will grip as well some of your cardstock as well if you're using anything like that. It's also great. I do a lot of vinyl work, so I put the vinyl pieces in the little bits here, and then because it's silicone it doesn't like really stick, so you can take them off. So grab that today, $12.99. This is going to be a great Christmas present for anyone that has not got one. Heat tool. Now this is great. I think most people think, oh, heat tool, I need to do things like heat embossing. You don't. This is just great for like drying your inks, drying your Glimmer mist, that sort of thing. You can use it for all sorts. Shrink plastic, if you've got that, you can be using it with that. Drying adhesives, if you've got like wet glue and you need it to dry a bit faster. So there is lots of uses for this. Don't just think that it is for embossing powders. It is great. So this should be $29.99. You're getting a tenner off. It's $19.99. That is amazing for a heat tool. And obviously it's purple. Why would you not want a purple one? And it's got 2 settings. And the settings are actually really good, because I've used other ones and they're sort of, without sounding really horrible, they're a little bit pathetic.
They are.
This one's actually quite good. Like, as in like the strength of it.
Yeah.
Okay, what have we got next on the list? Waterbrush Trio. You've seen Kat use this again today. So you get 3 brushes in this. The reason why you get 3 is because they're all slightly different sized brushes. So you get a really thick one, you get a really thin one, and then you get the medium one. You get your barrel that you fill your water brush, your actual water up with. You can keep the water in there because it is not going to bleed out. You have to like almost like squeeze the barrel. So you can keep them, you've got lids protecting your brushes. They should be $9.99, $6.99. Now for water brushes, that is great. For any sort of brushes, it is also great, because if you go to the high street and you buy any sort of brushes, most of them are going to be like cheaper brushes. They are going to be a little bit wiry, not high quality. These are great quality brushes if you just use them as a paintbrush in itself. So you can be doing brush lettering with this because you've got that precision with the brushes. $6.99 and you get all 3. Glass mat. I love this glass mat. You've seen, again, this is on Kat's desk, our giant glass mat. It should be called giant. A3 in size. You've got your workspace. You have, let me have a look. This bit here is great. You can put your colour down in each one and then mix it with water. So you've got almost like a little palette. You've also got all your card sizes down here, which is something that I requested because I just love the fact that I've got it always on my desk. $24.99 is the usual price. $19.99. Some of the deals today are just amazing. It's also got the non-slip rubber feet. Easy to clean. We're doing absolutely all sorts on this, and you've also got the measurements in inches and centimetres. And final thing for me, Ink Me card blanks. There are so many. Save 30%. Is it on any Ink Me card blank?
All the ones that you've got down.
All the ones down here. So I'll go through them all very quickly. You've got your DL. You've got A6. So this is your Ink Me cardstock, which you've seen Kat use today. And they come with envelopes. 7x5. You've got some mystery size, because I don't know what it says. It does say A5. I just couldn't see it. It was in a different place. Don't put me on the spot like this. 5x5. You should have just written them all down for me. 6x6. 7x7. And you've got your 8x8. And again, all envelopes in there. And
No by sight.
I do not know by sight. No. I'd like to say that I do, but I just don't. Especially not when I'm live. Like the pressure of live. No. You've also got your Scalloped card blanks.
Ooh.
A6. I had A5 in my head and I don't know why. Then quite obviously not A5. Oh dear. 6x6. This one's your A5.
Yay!
You've also got Tenfold in this. I love the Tenfold card blanks. It's possibly one of my favourite card
I
blanks.
love Tenfold.
Any Tenfold. So you've got your DL, you've got your A6, you've got your 7x5, and you've got your 8x6. All of them 30% off.
Yay! If you're topping up for the new year, to make sure you've got a nice full craft stash for the year ahead.
And
Perfect.
you've got your envelopes in this.
Yeah.
And they are true to size, aren't they? They're not like...
No.
When they say they're A6 and they're not.
They're not. And you do all your mat and layering and they're like, no.
I know, you don't measure your card blank first. You do all your mat and layering and then you get to the end and you're like, oh, great. Yeah. Anyway, waffle over. We're going back to Cat.
Yeah, we are just going to have a fun play around with a variety of things that we've had on today. So, I'm going to start this one out with our brush markers because they've been they've been a bit quiet so far this show. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I feel like I've mastered my watercolour pencils. I feel like I've mastered my alcohol markers. I'm not that confident with my brush markers, but we can't be good at everything. I just feel like there's people in the office like Natalie and Anne-Marie that can do them better. So I'm not going to do full-on watercolouring brush marker techniques with you today because I believe there's people here that can do them better. But I am going to show you what I do and I do feel comfortable with my brush markers. So I absolutely love using the fine line end. You can just use it for putting squiggle like draw marks around the edge of your cards, for doing like your Zentangle effects. I absolutely love using them with our masks. We have got our Advent mask here, which are great. Some people just like to go in with the inks and stuff, but if you're wanting to add more than one colour when we've got fine detail and stuff like that and change them into something completely different, then this is great. And I love a mask like this because you can just pick out little elements. It is designed for one purpose, but if you just wanted to make a background up, say, of all little, let's find one, like of little bows.
Stuff like that,
yeah, let's go in. You can just go in.
It's also nice because you can just do the outline.
Sometimes
you don't want like the block colour.
Definitely. So let's just do the outline for the middle of the bow there. And you can colour them in. And you'll start, as you go over, it'll thin that in more. But then if we wanted to then do the tassels in green, we could do that as well. I feel like these pens, I've just grabbed these out the craft room and I think these have probably been sat here from day one. They do feel a little bit dry.
They're well loved.
They are well
loved. That's what we like to call them.
Let's go over with a darker green. But you can see just how they give you that absolute precision for colouring things in. You can also use, if you've got kind of a bigger edge, you can use the brush marker side of it and just go in.
Yeah, because they're water-based, they're not going to mark or stain your mask. So you can just use clean them with the brush end and you will still get all that detail in there. There's lots and lots of different things. Another way I really like to use them as well, because we understand that crafting isn't necessarily the cheapest of hobbies. No.
And if you're going to invest in things like this that aren't just one-off products, yes, you're getting them on a great deal today, but maybe you can only afford the pens or you can only afford the ink pads. There are ways round how you can still use those things in other ways to get other effects. And using your brush markers for stamping is a great way of doing that. If you can't afford at this moment in time to invest in all your inks, but you've got your brush markers, you can use them for that. So I'm going to take our Ho 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 here. And let me see if I've got one that's quite good in colour.
This technique is also good if you want to colour sections.
It is, absolutely.
So if you want to colour a little bit in that red and then a little bit in green, you're not having to mask areas with anything. You can just use your different colours with ease, really.
Definitely. And again, if you go to the books, I know there's one probably in the brush markers and there's definitely one in this Stamping Essentials handbook where if you colour on and then either wet down some of your paper or put a little spritz on your stamp, and it almost does that kind of watercolour colour effect for you. So it takes the precision away, but then you can go in and blend out. But this one's just for sentiment. So you can see we've gone in, we've added that on there, and then you can stamp down. And you get this beautiful, again, we're using all tiny things today. I feel like I'm being dead naughty.
It's so good.
But you can see, you still get that precision of the stamp.
Yeah.
And then you could go in if you wanted to and colour it in. Or again, I'm going back to that fine line detail and kind of just add like your stripes or your Zentangling effect. And you're going to get that exact same colour because it's coming from the same pen. If you wanted to maybe colour sections in, do thicker stripes. It's just going to give you so much more ways you can use things than before.
The other thing that I like to use my brush markers for is like layering stencils.
Yes.
Because sometimes with the inks, you can get a little bit of bleeding if your ink is really, really juicy.
Yeah.
So if you're not confident with your inks, you can use your brush markers and just, as you just did them with the mask,
yeah.
you just draw through it, then choose another darker layer, and it's like a whole other colour palette as well.
So, like I said, there's lots of fun, different things you can do with them. Another one, I'm going to show you this both with brush markers and alcohol markers. Taking it off paper now, we're going to do some colouring on ribbon. So, I wonder if you could probably stamp that on ribbon as well and do your own like kind of stamp ribbon. Let's just see if there's any residue left there. It's very, very faint. You probably can't pick it up on camera, but if that was, do you know what? I'm going to do it. Why not? We're here. Let's have a play.
While you're colouring that, quick question. If you want to use your alcohol markers on normal, adorable, scorable, will that work, or will it, do you have to leave it, or will it just smudge no matter how long you leave it?
Adorable, scorable and alcohol markers, it usually sets pretty quick, you know.
Yeah, I thought that they were more like a permanent ink, aren't they, alcohol?
They are. What you won't get with your Ink Me, you know how we were talking before about like your blending and how they blend in and it can go to a nice flat colour. It might be a bit more streakier because it's a coated cardstock. It's nothing for the ink to sit into. It does sit on top, so it might go a bit streaky. But for some effects, it's kind of what you want. You want that different kind of look for it.
So you could maybe use like the bullet and then like write a name, for example.
Definitely,
Normal, adorable, scorable.
That's absolutely fine. Look at that! How fun is that? That wasn't where I was going, but there we go.
Cool.
So you could do your own printed ribbon. Let's pick up a different colour just for a bit of interest. Now, let me cut two bits because I'm going to do two little bits of coloured here. We're going to do our brush markers versus our alcohol markers. So this is a great thing if you are making a project and you're wanting to add a bit of ribbon to it and you haven't got the right colour in your stash. You can colour any of your light shades with either your alcohol or your Prism watercolours to make them match exactly what you want. Your alcohol markers are your easiest because you've just got that flat chiseled end and you can go in and layer it up, and you can it doesn't look like it wasn't meant to be that way in the first place. What you can do if you want a little bit more interest with your brush marker, we're going to do exactly the same. And you're going to see it's not going to want to lay down quite as flat and perfectly as that one. So if you were doing your solid colouring, I would advise going with your alcohol markers. But if you want to do something really fun, like creating like a really special ombre effect, you can then go in with your brush marker and make like a really cool kind of faded down ombre version. You could bring in other colours, but if you were wanting something more specialised, it's really cute and really pretty. So I'm going to put my brush markers away for the time being, and you can wait for a Technique Tuesday for much better examples of them than you're going to get with me. So you were on about Adorable Scorable.
Yeah.
What I've got here is some acetate. Because you can also use
colour and acetate
this.
with
And it's kind of the same kind of effect that you will get with your Adorable Scoreable. Apart from it, obviously, it's going to be a lot lighter because it's clearer. Now, you can choose whichever side you want. I would always go to the back of the colour. Back. The side that you want on the front, turn it over.
Yeah.
And colour from the back and have the colour shining through
So
rather
colour
than
it and
on
then
the
turn it
top.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the other.
No,
yeah.
the other way.
Yeah, that way.
That way. So colour it and then turn it over.
So say for the front of this card, I wanted the gold at the front.
Yeah.
I'd turn it over to the silver side and colour onto the
Got
back. Yeah. But if you wanted the silver, do it vice versa. The same with if you are stamping onto acetate and that, like with your stays on, you're doing that for a different reason then, because if you colour onto the stays on, it might move, whereas if you colour it onto the back, then you're not having to effect with that. So again, let's just pick some colours out.
So
and let's
Chloe's
just have...
asked, can you use Prism ink pads on acetate? You can't,
No.
because it's water-based. So because it's water-based, it's just going to sit on the top, almost like if you were to spritz it with water, it'll all just like pool into like little droplets. It's exactly the same. So if you think water doesn't seep into anything with like windows and anything that doesn't take in water, it's exactly the same.
Oh, and what was that, acetate?
Yeah.
So the only way around it would be, but you'd have to work super, super quick, and I wouldn't guarantee it's going to get you the best results, is that if you stamped really quick and it wasn't too big, went over with some clear embossing powder and then heat set it.
Yeah.
But it'd have to be a heat resistant acetate, and you'd have to work really, really quickly.
Yeah, I can't work that quickly.
Yeah,
That's just way too much pressure for me.
But it's worth a try if you've got a...
It's always worth trying new things as well.
Definitely.
I just know that it would really stress me out.
Yeah.
I'd probably end up dropping the entire tub or something.
Right, and we'll just put some stripes in his eye here. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but just so you've got an idea. So you can colour onto your acetate, and then when you turn it round, again, this is more for solid colouring. What if you try and blend and stuff, it's going to go streaky because there's nowhere for it to blend. It's just kind of sat on top. But you can really see there what a fun kind of idea you can get with colouring onto your acetate. And then last but not least, we can't leave out our gemstones and pearls, and this is another great way if you've only got basic colours. So I've got like the silver, the golds, the plain pearls and some crystals here. You can turn these into any colour that you want. Now I know Hunkydory bring you a wide range of colours, but there are some that we don't have. We get a lot of people asking for like orange gems. We don't do an orange. So
but
you
maybe
can
you
either
just want it to match whatever you've just used
This is
on your cardstock. Sometimes
Absolutely.
the colour tone is slightly off or something.
So we can go in just with your alcohol marker, colour that on to a crystal one, and you're going to get like a nice pale orange. You could do it on to a silver if you still wanted quite a pale kind of orange, but a little bit more solid.
And again, this is your alcohol markers because it's a permanent ink.
Yeah, and it will dry and stick down.
So you won't be able to do this with your brush markers because they are water-based.
And then if you want kind of warmer orange, even deeper still, you can do that on to your gold one. And then we'll do one onto our pearls, just for comparison. Do a whole sheet of orange gems for our Natalie, shall I? For when she comes back off holiday. And again, it's just another great way that you can use them with other of your Hunkydory products to change it into something new.
I love it.
So I hope we've covered a few bases for you today.
Thanks, Kat.
You're welcome.
I was just like sat here like yeah, it's lovely. Okay, I've actually got work to do. TV schedule. Amy is over at Hobbymaker today.
She is.
She's got loads of new things today. At 2 p.m. she's got the new Kinetic card blanks. 4 p.m. she's got new Moonstone combos, which you do not want to miss. And then 7 p.m. savings on Duo Design paper pads.
Wow.
I know, so much today. So make sure you tune in to Amy. Next up on HDTV, we have myself, but I'll be over there tomorrow. And we've got Anne-Marie. We'll be unveiling a new market stall, and we've got those Moonstone combos. So join us tomorrow for another fantastic Christmassy day, and enjoy the rest of your day.